You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
This is Andy.
And this is Matt.
And you're listening to
The Hot Podcast with no name.
What a dumb name.
It's so stupid. We are recording, and I'm not saying the name of this episode because
you don't know what it is?
I don't know. No, I know the number that it is. I just don't know if it's going to be actually released now. So I won't say the number, but there's a number associated with it. When you hit listen, listener, there was a number next to it. Imagine me saying that number right now.
Okay.
And we did
Perfect.
something different. I mean, that is not even enough of a category to say.
I know people don't know how to continue to listen unless you say the number. I don't know. That's obviously at that point in time, people just stop listening unless you've said the episode
continue.
Number.
Well, wait until they hear what the premise is, and let's see.
And they can just
they
can just
decide
to stop listening at that point in time anyway.
And I want to say this is different than what we normally do, but that is not even a strong enough statement to say what happened. So I will let you explain everything that's transpired to get us to this moment right now.
Yeah. There's a lot of pieces to this. The first piece of the puzzle is the fact that my eldest daughter, Penelope, is starting kindergarten tomorrow. At the time that this is recorded, that tomorrow. And the people have been asking her a lot, how do you feel about it? And most of the way that people ask that is not that open-ended question. Most of the time, the question that people say is, are you excited?
Mm-hmm.
And it gets a very sort of shrug answer. And I can't count the number of times different adults have asked, hey, so you're starting kindergarten. Are you excited? And then she kind of just looks at them or shrugs or says, yes, because I think she feels like she has to say yes because they're saying it in an excited voice. So that's one piece of the puzzle. The second piece of the puzzle is a lot of times when we are going from, location to location and doing trainings, and perhaps we go out for, dinner with some of the folks that we're, training with, or, we have lunch, the concept of using this subject and parenting comes up quite often. And I don't know, I thought it might be helpful to just try an experiment. And we didn't know how it was going to go at all in terms of, can we just use some simple operational learning language with a 5-year-old to help, even in a stressful situation, which the stressful situation is not only starting a new school, but also the concept of being recorded is not something that she's used to. But
was very
could we
excited about.
transcend all of that and on this podcast do some operational learning with a 5-year-old to learn how she's actually feeling about starting kindergarten tomorrow?
So there's a good chance that whatever you saw when you clicked play, the title was like Operational Learning with a 5-year-old was the name of the episode. And you're like, that's probably just like how to do it. It's so simple that they only, even a 5-year-old could do it. No. What you were going to hear, you were going to hear
with a 5-year-old.
Operational learning. And we're talking to a 5-year-old.
Correct.
And
we're talking to a 5-year-old while she's having a microphone shoved in her face.
Yes.
And she's doing something that she's never done before. And she has to start kindergarten tomorrow. And we're trying to see if even under all of that type of external, I don't know if stress is the right word for her, but like things that are going to be quite different and are quite different, whether or not we can actually learn anything more than a shrug of, yeah, I'm sort of excited for kindergarten. So that's the mission.
And
Matt is not sold that this is a good idea.
It's not that I'm not sold that it's a good idea. Any chance I get to record my nieces when they're this young so that I can embarrass them for the rest of their lives when they're adults is great. I will take it every time. So I don't have any children, which we've talked about, I think, on the podcast before. And that may or may not change in the future. I don't know. I'm getting married in a couple months. We'll see. So when you asked me, what do I think? My response to you was, and I guess this is just us being no filter, was I love the chance to interact with my nieces anytime I get, and I like operational learning. So this seems interesting to me. I have no idea what it's going to be like if you're a parent and you're like, I just don't know. I can't guess how it's going to be received outside of that. I feel like it would be great. I just don't know. That's where I
don't know either. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. I guess we will. And so I guess my question to you is, this is clearly a very, not very, I shouldn't say very, because there was a lot of background that no one's going to see because it's just audio, but on the video you can see the 3-year-old running around behind you and everything. But it's a somewhat controlled interaction. How do you see this playing out in everyday? Is it the same type of interaction? Is it different? Like, tell me, as the non-parent, when would you have this conversation with your child?
Oh, you mean so the fact that I'm holding a microphone in her face,
and she's so excited, and
prompts her to say words.
Uncle Matt's
right?
on the screen, and I'm wearing a paper clip or a hair clip in my hair, and she loves it. Like, all that's happening, that's fun. But like, let's break down the facade that is a microphone and a camera and a recording, and like, how would you apply this?
Yeah. So normally, the time that we would have a type of conversation like this in my world would be in the car. So in a similar way, you're in a space together. You have sort of forced time in a space together. And I use that time to learn about what her day was like, using similar style operational learning sort of types of questions. Another time that we do this is when we are able to sit down at dinner together. We'll go around and share what our day was like. And then when the girls sort of get stuck on talking about their day, we'll use sort of operational learning style questions. I don't know. There's in everyday interactions in terms of like trying to understand what a problem is of, we're at a store and we're having a meltdown, And after we've calmed down for a minute, trying to understand what prompted the meltdown, that would be another time that I'd use that style of question. Yeah, sort of countless times, but for sure, when you asked that the very first time, or very first example that I thought of was we talk that way all the time in the car when we're traveling together.
Gotcha. Okay. I would love feedback on this episode. I am on. You've swayed me. You've convinced me that this is worthy of my name. Really, that's what we're protecting here, of my name, and this being attached to it forever in perpetuity on the internet. So I'm very interested in feedback, because this is realistically something we can replicate with more interactions with children, and showing how that could go. But just in general, if this idea was helpful, I'd love to know.
Cool. Sounds
Cool.
good.
So what you're going to hear next is a recording. It's about 10 minutes long with myself, Andrea, and her 2 daughters. And it's going to be what it's like to operationally learn from a 5-year-old, because the 3-year-old
wasn't into
it. And so maybe we found the cutoff, at least for recording purposes. But yes, so give it a listen and let us know what you think.
Do you guys want to say hi? Matt, are we rolling?
Yeah.
Cool.
We are
Awesome.
rolling, which I don't know if that's what it's called when it's audio, but we are.
All right. Do you want to say introduce yourself, or do you want mommy to? Okay. With us today, we have Penelope Florio. And also, do you want to introduce yourself, or do you want mommy to?
I like mommy too.
Okay. We also have Fiona Florio.
Hi, girls.
Hi. Can we ask you guys a couple questions?
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay. I am really curious about you starting school, kindergarten, tomorrow. Would you be willing to teach us how you're feeling about it?
I'm feeling a little excited and a little not happy because I really miss my friends and I really don't want to leave my school.
So you're feeling a little bit excited, but also a little bit not happy because you miss your friends at your old school?
Yes.
Anything else that you're feeling about starting?
Well, I don't know.
What do you miss the most about your old school?
Brett.
Everett?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really like Everett, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, Fiona, you're going to also start school with a new teacher, right? Do you want to tell us about your starting school? How do you feel about it?
Good.
You feel good? Be a little nervous? Okay, you can just sit here.
That's
You don't
okay.
have to talk if you don't want to. Okay, so Penelope, let's picture your first day in kindergarten. What do you...
Can I talk?
Is that what you wanted to say?
Can I talk one? Did you actually hear what Jonathan was?
No, what'd she say?
She said,
Oh, I didn't hear that clearly. It sounds very informative, though. Thank you for sharing.
Okay. So you're going to be your first day of school. You said that you were a little bit sad, but you also said you were excited. Do you want to tell us what you're excited about?
I'm excited about having new friends and learning new things.
You're excited about having new friends, learning new things. Any idea what you might learn about in kindergarten?
I think I might learn about how watches work and how to read books.
How watches work and how to read books?
Those are two good things.
Yeah. Okay, so now imagine you could read a watch and you knew what time it was. What does that mean for you? What can you now tell time around?
I don't know.
You're not so sure? When do you like to know what time it is? What's important about time for you?
Well, because I want to know when time so I can know when we have to go.
Like when we have to go and get in the car and go somewhere, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because usually mommy says something like, hey, we have to go at 8:05, but you don't know when 8:05 is, right? Yeah. And so when you know what time we have to leave, does that make things work better for you when you know? What does it change?
Well, it changes that I don't like do silly things and I go right away and I know when 8:05 is.
Okay, so like when you know when we have to leave when it's 8:05, then you can look at your watch and then you know maybe it's not time to do something silly. Maybe it's time to like do what? What would you do instead of silly if we had to leave?
Get on socks, put on our shoes, and get out the door.
Yeah. So knowing that then would make it a little bit easier to know when we had to leave instead of mommy just saying, it's time to put your socks on, right? It's time to get out the door. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Anything you want to talk about? So you're feeling excited about school. You're feeling a little sad because you're missing your friends. You're feeling excited about learning new stuff, about learning to tell time, and about reading. What about reading? Or what are you excited to be able to read? Any idea?
No.
No? Yeah, that's fair enough. I can't come right now, Fiona. You want to come talk to us over here? I can come in a few minutes. Okay? Okay. Of course.
When are we gonna hear how we encode our voices?
When are we going to hear what? How we recorded our voices? Oh, you want to hear it when we're done listening? Yeah, we can hear it after we're done. But do you want to talk about anything else before we're done? Okay. Uncle Matt, do you have any thoughts, any questions for Penelope in her first day of school tomorrow in kindergarten?
I heard that heard the feelings. I heard what we're excited about. Outside of learning how to read time or tell time and learning how to read, is there anything else you're really, really looking forward to?
Don't know.
Well, you mentioned making new friends. Do you have things that you can picture? Oh, you were at your classroom, right? And we sort of started to see a few people that might be friends. When you make new friends, what are some of the things that you would picture doing with your new friends? You don't know? How do you decide what to do with your friends when you're at your old school? How did you decide what to play?
I think my brain just told me what to play, and I didn't really know what I kind of wanted to play.
Your brain told you what to play, but you didn't know. But what if one person wanted to play one thing and another person wanted to play another thing? How do you guys deal with that?
I don't know. I think we would just play half of their game and then play half the other game.
Is that sort of what you think you might do with your new friends if they wanted to play different stuff? Would you do half their game and half another game, or would you do something different this time?
Something different.
Maybe do something different. Any idea what different is?
No.
That's fair enough, though. All right. Anything else that we can think of? Anything you want to talk about? It doesn't have to be about school.
Be
It
anything.
could be about anything. Anything sound like it would be fun to talk about?
Thing.
Only one thing? Tell me that one thing.
How does nature grow?
How does nature grow? That is a great question. Tell me more about the question. What do you mean?
Well, like, how did it grow all by itself?
Like, how did it start? Like before the people were here? Like before humans? Or what do you
Or
mean
how
by
did that
all by itself?
tree grow?
So, like, it grow, but it's no seed. You're not planting it and it just growing.
Okay, so when you're picturing planting, are you picturing a person planting it? And sometimes things grow without a person planting it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good question. So people don't have to always plant things. there's lots of different ways for seeds to get in the ground that don't involve us. Birds can put them in the ground. They can blow in the wind. Other animals can eat things and then plant them. So all sorts of different ways.
Oh. Say.
That's a great question. I
Yeah,
really
it's a good
like it.
question.
Yeah. Any other question or a thought that you have? Something that you'd want to record and share?
No.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Can I do it here?
You just want to hear what it sounds like. Okay. We can do that.
So what you just heard was Penelope and Andrea and a little bit of Fiona talking about about
And
very
maybe a
little
lot
bit,
of background noise. We're not exactly sure.
a very little bit of
depending on
Fiona, which I am still regretting not transitioning us to video yet, because just seeing what Fiona was doing would have been great for everybody. But we are sort of going to briefly kind of recap. We were just dissecting the episode, and you said something that sort of hit you as you were thinking about it, which was
Yeah.
insert.
Yeah. So
Andrew's
so
comment.
every time I do any types of these conversations with the girls, right, I kind of go into it, whether I like it or not, thinking I know the answer, because I think that's just natural for people to do. And I would have told you that I knew how she felt about kindergarten before we recorded that. And in general, like, I knew she was excited and I knew she was a little bit nervous. And I knew that, she missed her friends, and I knew, specifically that she missed Everett. I knew those pieces. What I didn't know, what surprised me, was when she said that she was going to learn about time. And then in asking what that would be helpful with, her knowing what time we needed to leave the house in order to know when it was okay to be silly and when she had to focus and put her shoes on,
Her socks
and then
shoes
being
on.
able to, and her socks, right, and to be able to picture that from her perspective. Okay, without the ability to understand time and to look at something, right, even though I give, hey, we have to leave in 10 minutes, hey, we have to leave in this amount of time, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. That could be incredibly frustrating from her perspective of, I don't know when I'm allowed to be silly and sort of play around, and when it really is the time that I have to just focus and get out the door. And that's something I can fix immediately, right? Like, that's something that I can easily set more timers around the house and be like, hey, when this one goes off, that means that we have to walk out the door and, set it a few minutes early. But that is a piece of information that I did not know. Yeah.
You need a silly alarm. When this alarm goes off,
we
we
do.
can't be silly
When this
anymore.
goes off, you can be silly.
You can't be silly. The silliness stops in this alarm. And then we have a 5-minute timer that's going. That means we have to leave. Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, we sat down to talk about starting school, and we ended up talking about the fact that you're clearly a tyrant when it comes to getting out of the door
When
on
it comes
time,
to leaving the house.
which is hilarious for me, because every time you and I travel, you are like a 5-year-old. You're like, when do we need to leave tomorrow? Yeah, when do we need to leave tomorrow? What time do I need to be ready? How are we getting that? You don't know the answers at all. And now clearly in this situation is, you need to be ready. We're leaving at this time. Let's get out the door. So that's fun for me.
Yeah. So anyway, in that tiny conversation, I learned something new about the daughter that I spent a lot of time talking to, which is why I always find it valuable to ask more questions, ask a few more questions than I think I need to in order to understand something.
Which is also a perfect representation of operational learning, because it wasn't what we set out to learn about.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
But we didn't have a pigeonhole in the conversation we had to get down to, and we learned this seemingly very important thing to her, and a system problem.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I'll tell you how I try to fix it and see if it works.
Yeah. We'll get back to you. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk again soon.
Well, that's it.
Yep. Another one in the books. We did it.
If you want to send us any of your thoughts, actually fling us any of your thoughts, you can do so at the website www.hoppodcast.com. hoppodcast.com.
That's hoppodcast.com.
It's still such a stupid name.
It's such a different name. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for listening.
You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.